This week on C Plus News Time, unbutton your slacks, pop open a bottle of stuffing, and prepare to fill your turkey necks with all the newsy goodness you so crave. Kristen Wiig hosted SNL just 2 days ago for the second time since leaving the show. What kind of company does she keep in the illustrious host/returning cast member set? And IFC owns a tiny little sliver of Funny or Die now, which means we're about to see more web projects make the leap to the small screen. Oh, do you smell that? That's the sweet stench of my favorite day of the week. Gobble gobble, bitches. It's C Plus News Time.
It's C Plus News Time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
I invited my Pilgrim and Indian neighbors over for dinner, and all I got was smallpox. Welcome back to C Plus News Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the comedy news they didn't know about for the week of November 14th, 2016. If you didn't like any of those Thanksgiving puns, then you're right. They're really bad, but I had to drum up an episode of News Time anyway. First up, Kristen Wiig returned to SNL for a one-night engagement. After the sketch show brought back Dave Chappelle for one of the most adult and wistful episodes yet, they closed out November with one of their top players. Wiig left the show in 2012 and came back to host not even a year later. She joined a cavalcade of returning hosts for the series, and that's a rafter you want to be a part of. Starting at the back of the pack, Chevy Chase, an original cast member, has hosted the most with his 8 times. Drew Barrymore hosted at age 7 in 1982. Yeah, I didn't believe it either. Then I watched the episode. I gave it a C+. On the other end of the age spectrum, Betty White hosted at age 88, making her the oldest person to do so. It was also rumored that producers were worried that White's fatigue for having to host all night, so they had Tina Fey, Molly Shannon, Maya Rudolph, Rachel Dretch, and Amy Poehler ready to jump in at any moment. But White went on to appear in every single sketch and knock it out of the park. Eddie Murphy is the only cast member to host while he was still a cast member. In 1982, supposed host and Murphy's 48 Hours co-star Nick Nolte fell ill, so it felt natural to have the other star host. Music people often host too. In fact, Paul Simon was the first to pull off the double duty in October of 1975. Dave Grohl holds the record for performing the most with his 11 appearances since 1992, and Britney Spears is the youngest person to do both sing and host at the same damn time as of May 2000 at the age of 18. Even those records pale into comparison to the special club in which a select group resides. The Five Timers Club is for those who have hosted 5 or more times, obviously. The club was first mentioned in December of 1990 by none other than America's Tom Hanks. At that point, the Five Timers included Steve Martin, Elliot Gould, and Paul Simon. Those old fogies are joined by many funny people, including Ben Affleck, Danny DeVito, Tina Fey, Justin Timberlake, and Christopher Walken. But only 3 hosts hold the record for most visits to 30 Rock. Though Buck Henry last appeared in 1980, he has hosted 10 times. He even has the honor of hosting the show's only remote episode for Mardi Gras. John Goodman follows with his 13 appearances, and Steve Martin has 15, but Alec Baldwin has trumped him, I'm so sorry, with 16 hosting gigs, even though Martin has the head start of almost 20 years. Hosting SNL is a real treat, and a good episode makes it that much sweeter. Wiig may not be at the heights hosting-wise of her contemporaries, but she's definitely on her way. All she has to do is continue being that funny person we love. Lauren should really have her back every single year. And finally, IFC has acquired a piece of Funny or Die. Well, their parent company AMC Networks did at least. The cabler invested in the video platform after the two began doing business with one another. The partnership began in 2014 with The Spoils of Babylon, a miniseries that came from the pages of Eric John Rosh's, Will Ferrell in the Fat Suits, beloved books. It managed to get a sequel/prequel series in The Spoils Before Dying, both of which featured an extensive cast and the likes of Hey, Kristen Wiig. More recently, however, IFC and Farrell and Adam McKay-owned Funny or Die have teamed on Brockmire, a show about a disgraced baseball announcer played by Hank Azaria. The series actually stemmed from a video that debuted on the site 6 years ago. See, what the Spoils Tales did was open the door for more TV development for Funny or Die. Actually, the Famous People peddled video site has been on TV for the longest. Shows like Drunk History, At Midnight, and Billy on the Street are just a sliver of their television achievements. And they've gone to even to the big screen with Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie. But they also made internet history with the likes of Between Two Ferns, I, Steve, and The Art of the Deal, the movie. Then there's the festivals, a tour, activism, and comedy specials. They really like to keep busy. All of this TV ambition for Funny or Die began back in 2008 with the premiere of Funny or Die Presents on HBO. The paid network, much like AMC, bought 10% of the video platform, and it came with the condition that 10-episode series be produced. Psst. C+ Comedy is for sale, HBO. So Funny or Die did what it knew best in creating a sketch-based series, but it wasn't like SNL. It was more of a composite internet and surrealist themed show, fitting because some of the episodes were 30-minute miniseries in their own right, or sketches were odd one-offs that would look out of place on any other network. The staff behind the show featured some insane talent. Andrea Savage, Maggie Carey, Neil Brennan, and more were allowed to inject their own brand of LSD into Presents. IFC's Funny or Die deal also comes with the promise that the network will also play with Funny or Die themed programming blocks. Either way, this deal is excellent news for both, as one of them rests in a dying world of cable, needing to differentiate itself, and the other lives or dies by the funniness of its 3-minute spoof of a modern office environment with Christina Hendricks. Great job, everyone, including you, Pearl. And that's all the news I have for you for this week on C+ News Time. Why don't you subscribe and check out one of our other videos? Of course, you can always head to the website cpluscomedy.com, where we got the latest news, reviews, features, interviews, and other good comedy bits that only I can provide you with. Follow us on Twitter at C+Comedy. Follow me on Twitter at ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Tumble with us on Tumblr. And be sure to eat as much as you can and grow those stomachs while I'll be at work and doing all the other stuff that you don't want to do. So let that tryptophan hit you and get the itis, go to sleep, and the end.